Well, good morning. I'd like to welcome everyone this morning. We have a half a dozen items with guests, and I want to begin with representatives of United Way and Superior Federal Credit Union to talk to us about a new initiative that's getting underway.
Good morning.
Phil Buell and Phil,
Nice to see you.
good to have you here.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Well, appreciate everybody coming out this morning for the Mayor's Press Conference. We, 2014, Superior started a new initiative as a community partner. One of the things that we decided to develop was our own foundation, so we created the Superior Foundation. And it was really driven towards three items, and those items were we wanted to promote financial education, we wanted to provide home ownership opportunities, and at the end of the day, some help with some small business development. Overall, we thought we could do this. We could actually help individuals probably do some personal wealth building that maybe they hadn't done before. Part of the foundation, when we looked at it, said we didn't maybe want this to be a handout. We really wanted this to be an opportunity to provide a hand up, and that we have a lot of individuals in our community who work hard. We have a lot of individuals in our community that try, but for some reason, maybe there's just something needs to get them over the hump, and that's the reason we created this foundation. With that, Superior is committed to funding $100,000 a year into the foundation. We also think this is something that we will introduce to our members, and we think with our 52,000 members, hopefully something they will support as well. And with that, we can use that as give back here to the Lima Allen County area. With that came our first donation that we've decided the foundation decided to approve was to the United Way. And with that, the United Way has taken some very definite type of goals that they're wanting to go forward with, and one of those is financial self-sufficiency. So with that, the first check that we want to write, and hopefully they feel very comfortable in cashing, will be for $50,000 that we'll be making to the United Way, and it is be delegated towards financial self-sufficiency. And with that, we will let Phil Haynes kind of talk about what maybe their plans will be for that.
Well, good morning. We are just absolutely delighted to be the first recipient of the gift from the foundation. Our focus really, as Phil said, is around financial self-sufficiency, and there's a lot of focus in this community right now on workforce development. So we are in the midst of developing a plan with regards to the use of these dollars to focus on that particular issue. We're not going to share the details of that, but we will in the future once the program has been completely laid out. But to reiterate what Phil has said, we feel that there are a number of barriers that prevent people who really do want to be financially self-sufficient, want to work, that get in the way of them being able to do that. And our goal with these resources is to try and break through some of those barriers, to give opportunities for those folks to be able to work, to be able to minimize the barriers that they face in their lives. And so we are absolutely thrilled. Obviously, the goal here is to get people into work permanently so that they can be contributing members of our society, and there are a lot of people in this community who want to be able to do that. But due to circumstances in their lives, they're just not able to do that with some assistance. So these dollars will be used around workforce development strategies, and we will probably share in the next couple of weeks the very specifics around how we plan to use that. So we are really, really thrilled and very thankful for Superior's support through this donation. Now, I understand this is not legal tender, so, but
Well, that's great.
it's fantastic.
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It's great news that the credit union has established a foundation and has specific goals that it's going to be pursuing. Superior's done a great job expanding in our community and the region for a number of years, and it's good to see this level of outreach as well. Thank you. Lima City Council recently enacted some changes to parking enforcement, specifically around who can do the enforcement activities and the way in which that enforcement will take place. I want to invite up 4 of the city representatives, Lieutenant Green and from the police department, Marcia from the Park Rangers, Pete from the community development staff, and Bob Hamill from the who's the junk auto officer, I think is his official title. And they're going to kind of detail for you what's going to be happening. This has been, again, prompted by a set of things going on in the community. Lots of people concerned about the way in which people have been parking their vehicles in places that they don't belong. Lieutenant?
Okay, thank you. As the mayor said, this is an amendment to an already existing ordinance. It's the 452 section, which is our parking section. 45203 is the general section that talks about all the specific places that you cannot park a vehicle in the city of Lima. The amendment is section R, which is discussing that you cannot park between the street and the sidewalk, which is commonly referred to as the tree lawn, or on any portion of the front or side of a lot or parcel of real property, excluding a hard surface driveway or and you also cannot park on any unpaved portion of a vacant lot. This isn't a new thing. You have not been able to park in the tree lawn in the past or in the front yard. What has changed is the way that it is enforced now. Now that it has been added to the parking ordinance, the 452 section, it is enforceable by parking citation, where before it was a property maintenance violation. Now, city patrol officers who are out driving around, if they are made aware of violations of this or see vehicles parked in the yard or on the tree lawn, they can write parking citations, which is also what the park rangers can do. And Hamill can do this also. Bob Hamill can as well. Bob, is there anything else you wanted to say about this?
Yes. In addition to what the lieutenant said, this means one wheel in the grass, a whole car in the grass, also blocking sidewalks. We can write parking tickets for those also. And it's just a common courtesy thing, blocking the sidewalk, so you don't have to walk around the cars. It doesn't matter where you're at in the city. If you have a sidewalk going across your driveway, you cannot block the sidewalk. And it also doesn't change anything in terms of my job, in terms of having cars parked in driveways and backyards. You still have to have legally tagged and operable. That's what I deal with mostly. And a lot of people don't understand that, but I just wanted to reiterate this also, that your vehicles, if you store them in your backyards or in your driveways, they have to be properly tagged and operable. Thank you.
Otherwise, they're what?
Otherwise, I will send a letter advising you of a violation. If you remediate the violation, it's a $50 civil penalty. If you don't take care of it within 10 days and I tow the car, it's $555 civil penalty. So it can be very expensive, so we recommend you make sure you keep your vehicles operational and properly licensed.
Pete, you want to talk about your role?
Sure. We also had a change to the property maintenance code, which allows the property maintenance code inspectors to issue tickets for parking just in certain instances. Those instances are if they parked on a sidewalk, the areas that Lieutenant Green covered, which would be if you're parked on a tree lawn in a front or side yard and not on a hard surface, or if vehicles are parked in the median or traffic island. So while the inspectors are out doing their other duties, if you're parked across the sidewalk, they are able now to issue you a parking ticket. I believe the fine is $10.
It's the same as,
I think.
yeah, I think if
Didn't we
it's the same
decide
as
that?
our
Be a $10
same
ticket,
schedule, it is.
and that'll go straight through LPD, even though the property maintenance inspectors issue the ticket. Thanks.
Good.
You sure?
I'm sure.
This is your chance.
Lieutenant said it very well.
All right, thank you all. I want to emphasize that what we've seen, I think, throughout the city has been kind of a set of behaviors prompted by, in many instances, landlords who are renting houses to students and they're packing folks into the properties. And frankly, they all have vehicles. And there are too many vehicles for the neighborhoods and the properties that they're renting. So that it's a fact, but the other fact is that the neighborhoods should not suffer because of the way in which people are parking their vehicles. And so whether it's the green lawn or the tree lawn areas, or it's the neighbor's property, I mean, there's a variety of courtesies that need to be followed. And so the parking enforcement team has been expanded specifically to respond to what have been a series of growing complaints from our neighborhoods, from people who in fact are feeling abused by the way in which people are parking their cars. So this normally as a property maintenance activity would take a lot longer because there are various notices, and there are like Bob described with his junk auto, there are provisions in the code for a variety of notices which take more time and are more expensive. It was felt by Lima City Council that they wanted to switch this up to a simple ticketing process so that it was more responsive and hopefully would get people's attention. They've also made it clear in the conversations that I've been party to that if the $10 doesn't get people's attention over time, they will modify that to make it more expensive as well. So hopefully this will be the sort of notice that people will respond to and begin to behave accordingly. So, also, Andy Maravola is here with information on an upcoming event that he and his group of car enthusiasts will be a part of. Andy?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm here to talk about the Pigfest that's going on this weekend up at the fairgrounds. It's going to be a nice 2 days. We're going to have national grillers. Kansas City national grillers are going to have national judges. We got the backyard grillers going in. We got face painting, local bands, and a whole bunch of other things going on. Also, we're going to put in a 2-day cruise-in, and it's the Westgate Charity Cruise-In. And the admission for the cruise-in is $5 for 2 days per car. The admission to the Pigfest is $5. You get a wristband, and you're good for 2 days to come in and out of the fairground. So I think this is a very good thing for the community, for the fairgrounds, and for the sponsors that did this, you know, and to come out and have a good time. And with the car guys, come out and enjoy yourself and have a good day. Drive in and out as many times as you want, and good food, good people, and we should have a nice day. The good Lord gives us a good 2 days. So thank you very much.
Question, how does one become a national judge for the Pigfest?
Well, I don't know. I guess they bring these, they travel
I
around.
want to sign up.
They travel around, you know, and do this thing. I've seen it on TV a few times too, yes. Thank you very
All
much,
right, I
Mayor.
think I qualify.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you. Saul Allen's here with a set of updates on the alley maintenance activities and other springtime reminders for residents. Good morning.
Good morning, Lima. Like Dave said, I do want to give a few updates. Beginning with the alley maintenance, we are approximately 25% done with alley maintenance as of right now. We normally would be just about done at this point of time, but we pretty much got started probably about a month later than what we normally would have, just due to the fact that we had so many issues with potholes on streets. But we are in the alleys. Currently, we're on the east side of town in the area of Kibby, Calumet area. Expecting right now to be done by the end of June, definitely try to be done by the 4th holiday. Like I said, normally we'd be done by the end of this month. Also, you know, some alleys we have gotten calls on. All alleys are not necessarily street maintained alleys or street alleys. Some of the alleys that, you know, we've been getting calls about are actually private alleys or private driveways. So I do want to remind you, not all alleys, you know, are ones that we will be working on. As well, if alleys that are paved, feel free to call those in immediately. Just like the streets, we actually patch those. This is not a special program for alleys that are paved. You can call in 419-221-5165, and we take care of those just like we would take care of streets. Also, I took me about 2 minutes this morning to an issue that we have and have had throughout the city is with catch basins being filled with grass clippings. Just a reminder to all residents, if possible, please turn your mowers away from the street. Like I said, I did go out. It took me 2 minutes to find an area where we actually had a catch basin where the grass had been cut and all the mower clippings were out in the yard. You know, when we get heavy rains like we did for a while yesterday, it becomes an issue for the catch basins. You know, not only clogging the catch basins, but when it starts getting hot and we start getting those smells from the catch basins, basically most of what that is fermenting grass in those catch basins. So, you know, as much as possible, you know, want to keep your areas clean, keep those catch basins clean as well. That's it. Thanks.
That's it?
Yep.
Very good. Thank you. And Kirk Niemeyer from the city engineer is here with an update on the Kibby Street construction or reconstruction.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Wanted to give the, especially those residents out on Kibby Street and business owners out on Kibby Street an update on the project. Contractor will be starting around June 1st, and we broke this project, which begins at Pine Street and ends at Bell Fountain, into 2 phases. The first phase will be from Pine Street to the railroad, Indiana-Ohio Railroad tracks, and the second phase will be from the Indiana-Ohio Rail to the Bell Fountain Avenue. The first phase, again, will begin June 1st or thereabouts and go till mid-August. We will finish, this is full reconstruction, so the street will be passable to local residents and those trying to get to businesses in that first phase. However, it's full reconstruction, so we remove the existing street. We're going to be lowering the roadway so we have positive drainage in the after. And so it'll be quite disruptive, but again, we will maintain access. The first part of the project's installing all the new drainage structures and piping. Then the contractor will go in and mill out all the existing asphalt, remove all the existing sidewalk, and then start to put the new items back in. During phase 1, the intersection of Dana and Kibby will be open, so we'll have a traffic flow, so the motoring public can use Kibby Street between Bell Fountain and Dana, and then circle back to the intersection of Bell Fountain and Dana. Use that signalized intersection, sort of a traffic flow through there. During phase 2 of the project, we'll have everything complete on phase 1 except the finished course asphalt. That will wait to the end of the project, finished course asphalt and pavement markings. So everything will switch over and around mid-August, and then we'll finish or start on phase 2, and that will be removing again everything and replacing it. So project will wrap up, the entirety of the project will wrap up in end of October. So, and that's all weather pending. So if we get good conditions, everything goes well. You know, we understand there's been a lot of work out there up to this point. The gas company has thankfully got in ahead of us. They put in new service to all the residents along Kibby, as well as a high pressure and a medium pressure gas main. So obviously that's done in advance, so we don't disrupt any of the new work down the road. So we're very appreciative that that work got done, was finished, and the power company is in there now finishing up, and Time Warner and CenturyLink will be at the tail end here. Another project that's going to impact traffic this year, and it's already impacting traffic, is along Latham Avenue, and that's for a stormwater improvement project. And the gas company is currently out there on Latham, and that project will start right around June 1st and extend to mid-September. So traffic on Latham, and that would be west of Cole Street between Doug Run Ditch and Cole Street will be traffic will be impacted most of the summer. So just to reiterate, the businesses along Kibby Street will be open, and we will do our best to maintain access to all those businesses. At each end of the project, we'll have our typical road closed barricades, but we'll also have signage that indicates that the road is open to local businesses. Some of the businesses may elect, in the past, they have put up their own business name. We do allow that, so if somebody comes up to
Like
Meat City, one end of the project and it says open, our sign will say open to businesses, but they may reinforce that message with a sign of their own, letting them know that you can get there. And obviously you can get there from all the intersecting side streets as well, so don't hesitate to save your car, dust and et cetera, and just come in on the side streets.
Stealing my notes.
All right, I won't take it. I think that's it.
Thank you, Kirk.
Thank you.
We have done a number of these full reconstructions over the last years. They have, most recently, I think Elm Street's a good example of the way in which the traffic was maintained throughout, and the full width of the pavement and the new sidewalks and curbings were all installed. So I think that's going to be the experience with this project as well. And hopefully at the end, it will be appreciated for the improvement. It certainly will make it safer for students going to school there on Calumet, as well as providing a more attractive corridor from Bell Fountain into the city. So appreciate the work. Brett Roehm is here with an update on a number of recreation topics.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm just here to remind parents that our playground signups are underway. Spots are becoming limited. When I left the office this morning, there was one spot left for Robb Park. So parents, if you're wanting your children to get signed up for the playground program, please contact our office. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. It's $30 if your child attends schools inside the city limits, and $35 if they attend schools outside the city limits. So it's an 8-week program. That works out to be 75 cents a day. I don't know that if a parent can keep their child home for 75 cents a day. So a great opportunity for that. The program begins June the 8th and will conclude on Friday, July 31st. Also, Schoonover Pool will be opening Saturday, June the 6th. It'll be open daily from 12 to 7. Admission rates are $3 for youth 13 and under and $4 for those 14 and over. We also offer season passes, and those plans begin at $30 and go on up from there. So any questions can be addressed to our office, 419-221-5195. That's it. Thanks.
Are you introducing the rec staff next week?
Next week.
Okay, very good. it's always exciting to be able to present the young people that are hired for the summer to engage with other very young people in our community in the rec program. So look forward to next week's press conference. Otherwise, I think that's all that we have for today. We'll break down for interviews, and thanks again to Superior and the United Way for announcing their initiatives, and look forward to it rolling out in our community. Thank you all.